Emma trudged along the shoreline, the shore of what used to be a sea. Now, it was the glowing sea, a vast expanse of irradiated destruction. The radiation had killed off most of the life in the area, leaving only the hardiest of creatures alive. Emma had been living in the glowing sea since she was a young girl, and she had seen the devastation firsthand. Emma was on her way to a trading post, a place where she could barter goods with the Children of Atom, a religious cult that had taken up residence in the glowing sea. According to them, the radiation was a blessing, and they sought to spread their faith to anyone who would listen. As she made her way through the wasteland, she could feel the radiation seeping into her skin. She had heard stories of people who had been exposed to too much radiation, and their bodies had been changed in horrific ways. Emma had no intention of becoming one of those stories, so she was extra vigilant. After several hours of walking, she finally reached the trading post. The Children of Atom did not welcome outsiders, but Emma had been trading with them for years and they tolerated her presence. She exchanged her wares for the items the cultists had, and then she made her way back to her home. As she walked, she marveled at the beauty of the glowing sea. The sky was a deep purple, and the water shimmered with a strange, otherworldly light. It was as if the radiation had created an underwater paradise. Emma was about to turn back when she noticed something strange in the distance. It was a large, glowing object, hovering just above the water. She cautiously approached it, and as she got closer, she saw that it was some kind of aircraft. The craft was in bad shape, with several of its panels missing. Emma was about to turn away when she noticed a faint pulse coming from inside. She quickly realized that there was someone inside the craft, and they were alive. She rushed to the craft and peered inside. There was a man inside, and he was in bad shape. He had been exposed to too much radiation, and his skin was beginning to turn a sickly green color. Emma quickly realized that this man was a survivor of the nuclear fallout, and he had been stranded in the glowing sea for years. Emma quickly pulled the man from the craft and brought him back to her home. She nursed him back to health and learned his story. His name was Jake, and he had been a pilot for the military before the war. He had been on a mission to deliver supplies to a military base, but his plane had been shot down by enemy forces. He had been living in the glowing sea ever since, surviving on what little he could scavenge from the wreckage of the war. He had been exposed to too much radiation, and it had changed him in ways he could never have imagined. Now, Emma and Jake were living in the glowing sea together. They had become fast friends, and Emma had found a purpose in helping Jake adjust to his new life. They scavenged what they could, traded with the Children of Atom, and found small moments of joy in the midst of the destruction. The glowing sea was not a safe place, but it was a place where Emma and Jake could find hope. The radiation may have changed them, but it could not break their spirit. They were survivors, and they would find a way to make the most of their lives in the glowing sea.